guys in these seeding games to have an opportunity to keep playing more after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Chris, I got to ask you, during this time, unprecedented time, what'd you learn about yourself? You know, everything stopped. We've had to make some changes.
Man, that's a great question,
what
Glenn.
have you learned?
I learned that I need to slow down. Life during this 4 months has taught me to slow my life down and kind of appreciate the things that we have more, because, man, this pandemic is real. It's affecting a lot of people's lives. And I just want everybody that's listening to me right now to understand this. This is not a political message, but it's just real. Wear a mask. Think of others besides yourself, and just be safe. That's really kind of what I've been thinking about, Glenn.
It's great stuff.
We've got a foul as Isak Bonga tried going to the hoop. A 5-point deficit right now for the Wizards. And going back to this team and what they can accomplish, developing at the same time as competing for a playoff spot, yeah, I think you can. And I think there is actually a huge upside to get into the playoffs with John Wall coming back next year and Beal coming back, and I think we all want Bertans to sign as a free agent. If you can get that experience of playing in the playoffs, and I know the playoffs this year will be different because the lack of fans, but just getting into that environment will help you immensely going forward.
It is, and it's an opportunity to showcase your skills. When you have a Bradley Beal on the floor where everything is set up to defend Bradley Beal. When Bradley Beal plays against the Denver Nuggets, you got 5 guys watching Bradley Beal. Now, you know, you got to scout this whole team. So this is an opportunity for these young players to develop their skills and showcase what they can do.
And there it was.
And it's going to pay off.
Yep, finding Rui Hachimura for the 2. It's a 3-point game, 1 minute to go. Chris Miller, want to say thank you for joining us, sharing your insight on what has transpired over the last 4 months. We look forward to seeing you in studio on the 31st and getting the band back together. It's great to have you back.
Fouls on number 17, Isaac.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You guys have a great call tonight, and we'll see you soon.
All right, sounds good. There's a look at the cutting Rui Hachimura off the feed by Isak Bonga, 39-36. Just under 51 seconds to go. Bol at the free throw line. Bol was a guy who went to the University of Oregon. Played 3. Here's Troy Brown Jr. quickly up to Bonga. And Bonga, that should have been a goaltend.
Wow.
It wasn't. Bol swatted away, and now Bol's got it. Little wraparound to Plumlee, and that's knocked out of bounds.
Stays here. Nuggets ball underneath.
You see Bonga
19 seconds on the
got
shot
himself
clock.
a little out of position. Actually, that might have been, I don't know. That's going down. That's a goaltend.
The officials today, Bill Kennedy, Tony Brown, Ray Acosta.
Tell you what, Bol is active. He is active defensively, offensively.
And a foul here.
Fouls on number 6, Troy Brown Jr. That's
Trying
his
to
first
defend
2 bursts.
Jokic.
You see Mike Malone and Scott Brooks
Ball on the side.
coming out
14
playing
seconds on the
zone.
shot
They want to get, you know, their guys. This is more of a respect thing between both teams. This is not a do or die situation between the Nuggets and the Wizards. You want to get you guys
Jeremy Grant
and acclimated to play basketball again.
Grant able to rattle in that 3-pointer. 45-36. Nuggets on top. Ish Smith starting here in this 3rd quarter as he misses the top of the key 3.
I think what we also might see in the second half, or even during the exhibition season, is Ish play with Shabazz. You might see them go small and have those 2 guys play together at some point.
Millsap left open for a corner 3.
He's been quiet.
He has been quiet. Good rebound by Troy Brown Jr. Here's Hachimura. It's Bonga, Hachimura, Ish Smith, Troy Brown Jr., and Mo Wagner on the floor to open up this 3rd quarter. Teardrop right there by Troy Brown Jr. That was a pretty move.
That was a pretty move, and that is not an easy shot to make. A lot of guys that come into the league have to incorporate that teardrop game, that floater game, into their bag of tricks, and Troy did a nice job of changing direction, which set it up.
Grant doesn't get the roll. Another rebound here for Hachimura. Rui Hachimura, the pull-up, one-handed, long, gets it back. At Plumlee, nice take right there. This time by Hachimura. That was against Jokic, I beg your pardon.
Well, he bypassed the three-point shot, put it on the floor again. All players that can score inside, they have one thing in common. They change direction well. And you get guys back on their heels, under control. One thing Scott Brooks told me about Rui Hachimura since he's been back is that he is a lot more confident, and the game is slowing down for him. And he's done a nice job of gaining some confidence, which, as a rookie, I think you have to go through that period of time. I think the last 4 games, right before the league stopped, he struggled a little bit with his confidence. Now, took some time off, got stronger, and Rui's playing a lot better.
And I want to go back to something you had mentioned earlier, as far as I think a lot of people feel that Rui Hachimura needs that three-point shot in his game. I don't know if he does need that right now. I think you work on other aspects of his game. He's got that mid-range game. That could develop over time.
Yes. No, I agree. I mean, it's not an immediate need,
right.
Is what you're saying. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of other areas that he could improve on. And the three-point shot is one of them, because eventually what happens, teams will take a step back and bait you into shooting.
Bol not shy to shoot the three as he hits another one.
Tell you what, he's got nice form for a 7-2 player. There's that 2-3 zone, and you got Plumlee.
There's Hachimura hitting at Oregon. And they had huge expectations for him. In those few games, he was putting up big numbers. And again, I mentioned it earlier, drafted second round by Miami. The Nuggets acquired him. They knew they could let him sit because they had a good team. And now maybe it's paying dividends.
You talk about a guy, a big guy, a nouveau center in the league. He can step out and shoot, right?
I mean,
he's long, he can handle the ball.
Jokic and Bol, here it is, Bol, wow.
And he runs the floor.
Did you see where he took off from?
Well, when you're 7'2" and you have long legs like that, you could take off from half court and get there without putting it on the floor.
Do me a favor. Show me a 7'2" guy who doesn't have long legs.
I think it's Jokic. No, he's not 7'2".
Here's Hachimura, shot clock winding down. Rui with the left, can't get it to go. And Millsap gets the shot off in time, just misses. But it is a 42-36 Denver lead over the Wizards in the first of these
Denver's team. There's Rui. He heard us. Are we on the loudspeaker there? But you look at this Denver team. What they have on the floor right now is big. You got Plumlee and Jokic playing the point, Bol, Millsap. I mean, this is a big club right here.
That's what happens when you put a 7-footer at the point guard position.
Fouls called on number 7, Mason Plumlee. That's his fourth foul.
Mason Plumlee picks up his fourth foul. With 6:36 to go here in this third quarter. The Wizards, they trail by 5, 50-45. Rui Hachimura, 5 for 10, 14 points and 5 rebounds.
This is my new Shakaroni.
And leading the break himself.
Yeah, I think what we're getting a chance to see with Rui as he develops his body and gets stronger is that he's a terrific rebounder. He's got great instincts. He moves his feet. And he's got terrific athleticism, and I like his IQ. I think the fact that what we've seen from him all year is the game is not overly fast to him. He takes his time. It's rare to see a rookie do that. A lot of guys rush and turn it over. He doesn't do that.
Ish Smith gets inside, kick out. Here's Bonga from the wing, able to knock down to 3. And all of a sudden, the Wizards are within 2.
Now, we were talking about Admiral, if he could make threes. Well, if Bonga could make threes, he's got that Swiss Army knife type game where he could do a lot of things. And if he could add that component to his game, he's going to be a rotational player in this league.
Yeah, Bonga's a guy who can guard virtually positions 1 through 4.
Team third.
He's so long, and honestly, I think he's still growing.
No, he is growing. That's what the coaching staff told me. They think he's like 6'10 now. And he's gotten stronger during the break. He put on some muscle.
Grant tries to go baseline. It's going to be a blocking foul called against Bonga.
You know, to me, watching Bonga play, the big area that he has to improve at, he's going to improve his shooting. Rui's going to improve his shooting. They'll become better three-point shooters. With Bonga, to me, because he can get downhill so quick, he's got to learn to finish with contact. A lot of times he'll get contact and he's not strong enough to finish. Well, he's got to have that ability to score while getting hit. And when he can do that, he's going to be a terrific player in this league. I love his feel for the game. I love his vision.
Love his personality, too. Such a nice guy. Jerome Robinson has come in for Bonga. Here's Millsap spinning against Hachimura. That's what Millsap needed to get himself into rhythm. 4-point Denver lead. Justin Kutcher alongside Glenn Consor. Wizards basketball back here on NBC Sports Washington. Man, it feels good.
Yes, it does.
Hachimura, little turnaround jumper, and Rui Hachimura now has 16 points, which leads all scorers.
You know, we were talking about Admiral Schofield, and we were talking about what he has to do to improve, right? And I love his game. I think he has a chance. But you know what he should be doing? Watching Paul Millsap. Type of guy.
Similar body build.
He's that type of, undersized, and Millsap has made a career out of being that tough. Who do you put on him type guy, and he can step out and make shots.
Basket's good.
He can put it on the floor, and he can defend multiple positions as well.
In the penalty.
They're going to count the basket and a foul against Mo Wagner. So Jokic is at the line. Nikola Jokic. He's got 6 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. But looking at the statistics, Bol has 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 block shots.
One of them was a goaltender.
I agree with you.
I'm kidding. No, I mean, he's terrific. I mean, he's got great instincts. I mean, that kid, he's got a tremendous upside.
Says passes sneaks has checked in. Here's Robinson. His pull-up from the free throw line is good.
Nice stepping right into the seam of the 2 guys out front playing his zone. See that shot? He's got to make that shot. And I'm happy for him. Another guy. I'll tell you what, the coaching staff could not be happier with the Wizards players right now. Look at Jokic.
Jokic hits the 3. He's now 2 for 2 from three-point land.
Jokic is the guy, by the way, when you're walking into the schoolyard and you're picking sides and you see a guy that size and what he looks like, you're going, you know what, I'll wait for my selection before I pick him. And then he comes out and he just takes it right to you and you go, man, I should have picked him first.
I tell you what,
right?
You pass on the 7-footer, I'll take him. I need the size for my squad.
I hear you.
The guy that always does it for me is like Alex Caruso.
Checking in the game, number 32.
Like you look at Alex Caruso, you're like, all right, yeah, this guy's last guy picked. Then he
Also
comes down
5,
and he jumps with the free throw line and throws out a dunk on you.
When he comes, gentlemen, let him shoot it, please.
I tell you what, it's impressive what Jokic has done with his body. I mean, he's tightened it up. He's worked out. He's lost some weight, and he's gotten stronger.
I mean,
and he looks quicker. Doesn't he look quicker?
And this is a guy who had tested positive for COVID-19, and he's doing very well. Napier against Jokic, got a piece of it. Here's Bonley, and he gets called for a traveling violation. These teams already met twice this year. 1-1. The Wizards lost in Denver on November 26th. The Wizards won in D.C. on January 4th. And that game was without Bradley Beal. And
travel call.
I just want to talk about one thing, and we talked about it off the air, because you get people when you go do interviews and they say, oh, the Wizards are going down to Orlando, but they've got no Beal. They don't have a chance. And you think about some of the stretch that they had this year. Without Beal, they beat
Wizards
Miami,
ball. Checking into the
Denver,
game number 25,
and Boston.
Tyler Cook.
I mean, those are three of the top teams in the league. So I do think they have a chance. Yes, you don't have Bertans. Yes, you've been off for a long time. But you just have to make up a game and a half.
Yeah, no, it clearly can be done. And I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to surprise some teams down there. You can't overlook the Wizards. And I think NBA teams know that. Nice pass and nice finish inside by AP. But it's going to have to be done, Justin. If it's going to get done, it's going to have to be done by committee.
Yeah.
Three-point shooting, someone's going to have to step up. They've lost. When you lose Beal and Bertans, it's close to 50 points a game. You lose your three-point shooting. And don't forget, when that shot clock ticks down, the ball was in Bradley Beal's hands, and he was tremendous this season. First of all, if he's not an All-NBA player, nobody should be, all right? He's got to be on the All-NBA team. But also, when that shot clock was ticking down for the Wizards, if all else failed, they would kick out. Bertans would nail a three. So those two components are missing. It's got to be done by committee. The ball's got to be shared, and everybody's got to make shots.
Here's Ish Smith against Bull. Bull trying to cross him up. This is past the Sneaks for three. And a rebound for Bull. 4-point Denver lead with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter. Bull continues his strong game. 13 points now for the rookie out of Oregon. Robinson, nice little spin move. And he gets the roll.
Like that move. Little stutter step move.
Robinson.
Got the defense back, spun back into it to create space. Again, those are the shots that Robinson has to make, and he's got to show that he can make threes.
I think back to Jerome Robinson's first game with the Wizards, and Drew Gooden said to me, he goes, I need 3 plays to see if he can play. As Bull takes a 3 again, the putback is good for Jokic.
Catching it with one hand.
Reverse. Troy Brown Jr. today, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys that has a tremendous opportunity down here in Orlando to show what he can do, to show that he's. I think his diverse game is going to really come out, and you'll be able to see that he can make threes, he can put it on the floor, and he can defend. The only thing he's got to improve on is his consistency to do it. He shows flashes.
3-point basket.
Great skip pass there, and Napier knocks down the 3.
Remaining.
Shabazz Napier, he's got 9 points now. He got a whistle away from the ball.
Napier got his hands caught in the cookie jar there when he bumped.
Here we go. Line him up.
Plumlee trying to cut through the lane, can't do that.
Against Shabazz Napier. At the free throw line is Mason Plumlee. This is a guy that you want to send to the free throw line. If he's ever got
Game number 9, Jeremy
a sure
Grant.
thing dunk, you foul him. Jeremy Grant comes back in.
One to come. Let him shoot it.
Plumlee on the season, a 53.6% free throw shooter.
Let him shoot it.
And he pretty much stays true to his average.
Boy, he kind of keeps that ball in his hand a real long time before he lets it go. You know, it's almost like he throws it up in the last second, and he's almost even off balance from the free throw line.
There's passes Sneaks left alone underneath, and that's what they want to see. Him throwing it down. One hand, 2 hands, they don't care.
Hey, you got the Grant brothers guarding each other right now. I love that.
Jerian Grant has checked in for the first time.
Fouls on number 18, Anzish Pashesniks. That is
Nice
his
pass by
second.
Bonga, attacking the seam of the zone, bringing up the back line to dump it off down on the baseline to Pastor Sneaks, who's playing peekaboo down there.
So Plumlee back at the free throw line. Misses the first. Here's Jerian Grant. 39 games with the Go-Go this year. But he said how much it means to him to be able to put on this Washington Wizards jersey.
Yeah, no, he loves it in D.C. and he's a D.C. guy. DeMatha went to Notre Dame, and he's played 278 NBA games, so he's got some experience under his belt.
Robinson against Plumlee. Shot clock down to 7. Napier directing traffic. Here's Robinson against Plumlee again. And he's going to be called for an offensive foul, pushing off.
Boy, that looked like the only possession so far where they went man-to-man. Kind of threw off the Wizards a little bit, playing zone the whole game.
What's your take so far with what the NBA has done? No fans, but they built this court to make it look pretty cool.
I can't praise Adam Silver enough on what he has done with not only the whole COVID issue down there. He's created a cocoon of safety and of health, and it's amazing. And I like what he's done with the court too. And look, this is all new to everybody. And Adam Silver is a forward thinker, and he gets it. And, I think a lot of the other commissioners are following in his footsteps.
Grant against Plumlee. Bonga back to Grant. And a whistle away from the ball. Looked like it may have been Vonleh again.
Fouls call on number 32, Noah Vonleh.
Talking to coaches and some of the players that are in the bubble, they all tell me the same thing. How when they first got down there was a level of anxiety, of uncertainty. And then when time goes by, they feel so safe, and they're getting tested every day. And Adam Silver's put together this protocol down there where players feel safe, they feel free, they're comfortable, and it's an opportunity to get the game back again. And I can't praise him enough for what he's done.
And I'll be honest, I mean, the more time went by without having basketball, I wasn't sure we would resume this season.
Right. And as of last Monday, every player that has been tested negative. So, I mean, it's working.
Wizards will hold for the final shot, down by 3. Here's Napier. Napier has it swatted by Plumlee. And Grant puts up the 3. That will not go, so it will be a 3-point deficit for the Wizards. Needing to coordinate. Schofield with the offensive rebound. Robinson for 3.
3-point basket.
Nice job by Jerome Robinson, stepping right into that one.
He's been impressive.
Jokic gets rid of it. Too much. Turnover.
Wizards ball.
And now a chance for the Wizards to tie with a 2 or take the lead with a 3.
When you're playing against a zone like this, and I know Scott Brooks wants and the coaching staff, they want to see body movement and they want to see ball movement. You can do that. You might not see as much body movement against a zone because a lot of it's attacking the seam, drawing, and kicks. This is a high pick and roll.
Step back jumper for Jerian Grant. There's his first bucket as a Wizard. And that has tied the game up at 68. 7:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Wizards and the Nuggets are all tied up at 68.
Get your glow.
Back in Orlando at the HP Fieldhouse, and you can see the benches are not exactly how you remember the benches. Look at how the seats are spaced out, and each player has a designated seat. Then you have those seats they pull forward so you can meet during timeouts.
And you have your bottles are behind you, so no one else can touch them or come near them. Everybody's 6 feet away from each other. The coaches, look at the distance between the coaches as well. They're all abiding by the NBA's protocol of 6-foot distancing.
Wizards and Nuggets tied up at 68. Troy Daniels being hounded there by Grant.
That's what they like about Jerian Grant is his defense. He's long, he's tough, 6'4", physical defensive player, played for Mike Bray at Notre Dame.
Passes sneaks against Jokic. We're going to have a foul called against Jokic. The Joker can't believe it.
Fouls called on number 15, Nikola Jokic. That is his third team burst.
Well, you see passes sneaks lowering that shoulder. And Jokic is like, I don't know about that one. Well, we do miss the Latvian laser, but we have the Latvian ladder in passes sneaks.
That's a new one. I like it. Foul going to be called here, I believe, against
Number 17, Isaac Bonga. That's
See, if I'm
his
Jerry
sixth
Grant,
foul
I'm
in
going to
East
Scott Brooks saying, you know what, you got to put me on my brother.
I'm sorry, Bonga just fouled out. Did you hear the fans boo?
I didn't hear that.
Also number 6, Troy Brown Jr.
That might have been the whole coaching staff booing. What a smile he has, huh?
Yeah.
Terrific kid.
So Bonga, his day is done. Foul trouble has been a problem for Isak this entire season. Early in the year, he'd be placed on really the opposing team's best player, and he'd pick up 2 quick fouls. Now we're going to have an offensive foul called against Jeremy Grant, trying to get
Offensive
position.
foul called on number 9, Jeremy Grant, his third.
Jeremy Grant 6'8", Jerian Grant 6'4". What kind of matchups would that be when you have Jeremy, Jerian, Harvey, and Horace playing 2-on-2?
Physical.
Robinson trying for 3 again, comes up short, 0 for 2 on that trip. And now Troy Brown Jr., he's going to commit the foul against Nikola Jokic. And this is where the size difference comes into play. You mentioned it before. When you've got Jokic, who can play the point guard, and now posting up at 7 feet against Troy Brown Jr.
Nuggets ball on the side, 20 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, you watch Jokic play, and he's so efficient the way he moves. It's not like he's explosive or, you know, he jumps so high that, he's got that wow effect when he jumps. But he just knows angles so well.
Passes sneaks, comes back for the rebound. Chance for Wizards to take the lead. Troy Brown Jr.'s corner 3. Jokic with a rebound. Bol follows his own miss.
Bol throwing.
Bol now has 15 points.
I'm impressed how Bol can put that ball on the floor, Justin. I mean, he's not bashful.
Out of bounds.
And it's rare to see a guy that big able to go downhill so quickly like he can.
What's funny is that his father, and this is what you're talking about, but his father was 7'7", and he was more comfortable shooting threes than he was with his back to the basket.
7'7", with an 8'6" wingspan is what Manute Bol had.
Fouls on
And
number
you think about Bol, he's 7'2" and 7'7". So he's like,
So he got the short end of that.
He's
checking
puny.
into the game, number 21, Mo Wagner, and number 8, Rui Hachimura.
Mo Wagner coming back in. Hachimura, 18 points, 5 rebounds. As Schofield and Passes-Sneaks go to the bench.
Here's a good shot of the spacing there on the bench.
Grant against Robinson. Fade away along the baseline, and we've got a foul.
Fouls on number 6, Troy
It's
Brown.
against Troy Brown Jr.
His third.
You know, just the fact that these guys are playing against each other, you know, not just in practice, getting back to that routine of the NBA, competing and, you know, going up and down must feel so good. I know it feels good for us, man. I haven't seen you this happy in 4 months.
I haven't been this happy in 4 months.
I haven't seen you in 4 months.
It's a correctable error. The previous play.
We're trying to get the information.
Shot.
But Jokic is back at the free throw line where he's 6 for 6. Jokic, an 81.3% free throw shooter.
Really not too many things he can't do. He makes his free throws. He can score inside, savvy, handles the ball like a guard.
And it just goes to show you, you don't have to be the most athletic guy to be great. I mean, Jokic doesn't leave the floor by more than like 6 inches when he jumps. But he just knows how to use his body.
Angles.
He knows the angles, all that. Here's Hachimura for 3. Wagner thought maybe he got pushed. 4-point Denver lead. Grant knocks down the 3 in the zone. And let's see if we get a timeout from Scott Brooks. Jerry and Grant able to keep it alive. Shot clock down to 10. Hachimura, shot clock at 4, has to put up the shot. And Jokic with the rebound, the long outlet, deflected and taken away. Here comes Troy Brown Jr.
Defense.
Hachimura passed up the open 3. Brown, the no-look, and Wagner finally gets the whistle he was looking for.
Foul's call on number 15, Nikola Jokic. That's his 4th foul. Team second.
Well, you mentioned Rui passing up that 3-point shot. Yeah, you know, chance to take it, but look how Grant gets back. He really is a defensive specialist. Able to get back. He kind of took too many dribbles the last offensive possession, but he was able to get it back in the tone.
Checking in the game, number 7, Mason Plumlee. Also
Wagner
number
at the
14,
line.
Ish Smith.
That was his first free throw attempt. He's got 5
Also
points.
checking in number 32, Noah Vonleh. The
Jokic
line
goes to
shooting
the
number
bench.
21, Mo Wagner.
It's Wagner, Hachimura, Robinson, Ish Smith, and Troy Brown Jr. on the floor right now.
You know, at the blink of an eye, this game's almost over, and you forget it's only 10-minute quarters. And I think that's smart for these exhibition scrimmages. You know, I do.
Well, this 10-minute quarters. The next 2 will be
10-minute
normal.
quarters. Yeah, what did I
Fouls
say?
on
8?
number
No,
12,
don't be 12
No,
minutes.
I know, but I think it's good. What I'm saying is,
first game.
yes, for the first couple of games, yeah, get for the first game.
For the first game, yeah. Ball to the free throw line. 1 of 2 at the line. 15 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for Bol, and 5 blocks. And checking in for the first time is going to be Jared Utoff. Utoff, who was signed as a substitute player. 27-year-old, played his college ball at Iowa.
1 on the release. Set and coming.
I know it's an exhibition game, a preseason game, but this is a good debut for Bol.
That's pretty impressive numbers. 5 blocks as well. You know, his dad had 15 blocks in a game once.
Ish Smith got Vonleh up in the air. Join us Saturday
Fouls
for
on
our
number
next
32,
Wizards
Noah Vonleh. That's his
telecast.
5th foul.
It is scrimmage
Team
number
third.
2 against the LA Clippers. Coverage begins at 8 p.m. on NBC Sports Washington.
line
You
shooting
can
number
stream the
14.
Wizards on the go using the My Teams app. I thought Doc Rivers had some good lines recently about the tip line, the NBA tip line,
Yeah.
and going to report a bunch of guys against teams he's got to compete against.
He's going to be the he's going to be the whistleblower. Only he's going to call himself out first and say, "Yeah, I'm doing it."
Daniels comes up short, gets his own miss, and puts that back in. 8-point Denver
Troy
lead
Daniels.
coming up on 4 minutes to go. Troy Brown Jr. all the way to the hoop. Count it.
No basket.
Oh, I thought they said and one.
Fouls on number 30, Troy
Nice little
Daniels. That's his
hesitation,
second, team
stop and
4th.
go type move by Troy Brown Jr.
1.
Wait, no, they do score it. It is
And one, yep.
an and one.
Correction, basket's good.
There you see the number 41 on the patch on his right shoulder. Wes Unseld.
Daniels, that three-point shooter. Ish Smith got up quickly to him. Plumlee. Daniels, they run at him, and that forced the travel. Nice job by the newest member of the team, Jared Utah. That's just a good job scouting and implementing that scouting report.
No question, running at the shooter. Utah played for Fran McCaffrey at Iowa, and he was well coached at Iowa. Had a nice career. And he's put up some good numbers in the G League.
He was first team All Big Ten his senior year. Ish Smith's jumper makes it a three-point gap to go.
Yeah, we got a good one here.
Ish Smith, he's got 7 points now. Grant, no. Utah off the rebound. Here comes Smith. Leaves it off for Troy Brown Jr., the one-handed dunk, and it's a one-point game.
This is the way.
Dunk.
You know, good things happen when Ish Smith is on the floor. Pushing the pace. Troy did a nice job running the floor, getting out, making himself available. Boy, you know, Ish Smith really does some nice things. Troy Brown's had a nice game, though. You know, he's showing some versatility, finishing at the rim, making some threes.
12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Troy Brown Jr., 5 for 10 from the floor. Again, the Wizards will play Saturday against the Clippers at 8 p.m., Monday against the Lakers at 3 p.m. You can catch all those games right here on NBC Sports Washington.
Let's go Nuggets!
A Let's Go Nuggets chant didn't really work. We're going to have a foul called here against the Wizards.
Fouls on number 21, Mo Wagner.
That's against
That is
Mo
his
Wagner.
fifth foul.
Picks up number 5. Scott Brooks.
Scott Brooks letting his hair grow back after the Brooks Looks Challenge, where they raised about $25,000, and I was involved when they were cutting his daughter. Lexi cut his hair, and I had called Lexi the night before to see if she would do it blindfolded.
Well, I
But
don't
she
know
wouldn't do it.
First of all, kudos to Scott Brooks for doing that,
Yes.
and then donating an additional $25,000 of his own money. Very cool. Davis Bertans, he said he texted his coach right away and said, "You're getting the cut." If he had to donate all the money himself, he was going to do it. And then on a little Zoom interview with him, I asked Bertans what kind of cut he wanted, and he was hoping for a male pattern baldness type cut. Just for the pictures, and then he could shave it.
Yeah, he's letting it grow back. Still has a long way to go.
Plumlee 1 of 2 at the line, 2-point Denver lead. Nice slip to the hoop by Mo Wagner to tie it up at 79.
Well, they see Troy Brown Jr. again, you know, a little pick and roll. He has the ball in his hands. He gets the assist, able to create.
Plumlee nearly travels. Here's Daniels for 3. It's in and out. Hachimura, the rebound, knocked away by Plumlee. Will be Wizards ball and a chance to take the lead.
Watch the little pick and roll here as just takes it off the bounce, doesn't put 2 hands on it. Nice little over-the-top pass. And Mo Wagner had his hands ready there, too. That's another big deal. With big guys, you got to get your hands ready when you roll on those screens.
Hachimura tried to save it, saves it to Plumlee. Here's Daniels for 3.
Bang, bang.
Ish Smith missed on one end. Daniels makes it on the other end.
Well, that was a quick release, huh?
2 minutes remaining.
Utah. Wagner spun into the defense. The 3 is off by Troy Brown Jr. He's been off from 3 so far today.
Euro.
finish by Tyler Cook, and a timeout taken here by Scott Brooks.
Timeout, Washington.
The Wizards had tied it at 79, a 5-0 run by the Nuggets, and they lead by 5. Ish Smith, 7 points, 3 assists, 2 steals on the day. Out of the timeout, Wizards down by 5.
Well, you can really see the pace change when Ish is in the game. It goes into high octane.
Troy Brown Jr. over to Utah, left open for 3 from the corner, does not get it to go, and that may be the shot that they needed to go to get back and maybe win this game. Daniels' 3 is off the mark to Plumlee. Here's Daniels again for 3. This time he makes it.
Troy Daniels.
It's hard to believe that he was let go by the Lakers and then signed as a free agent on March 5th.
To some degree, when Denver is healthy and have all their players, he's exactly what they needed. It's a dead-eye, deep shooter.
Here's Utah again for 3. That's over the backboard.
Nuggets ball.
I mean, I just look at a guy in Daniels, a career essentially 40% three-point shooter. He's a strong guy, 6'4", 205. Just surprised more teams didn't have a spot for him. But kudos to Denver for picking him up. Plumlee spins. Mason Plumlee able to finish.
Boy, he took it right into the chest of Mo Wagner.
Good block by Bol Bol. That's his 6th block of the game.
Bounds stays here.
All right, so your takeaways with 25 seconds to go. What do you think of this first game since March the 10th for the Wizards?
Yeah, I thought we saw some bright spots. I mean, I thought Troy Brown looked good. I thought Ish looked good, and Mo Wagner at times. I think we saw flashes, but I think there's rust. I saw rust on both teams, and you know, everybody's healthy, and that's what you want from your first game.
Ish Smith hits the 3 after the rebound by Hachimura. That was the 9th rebound for Rui Hachimura.
I was impressed with Rui as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think, you know, look, this is also not only are you getting rust off, but it's life with
for Denver. They have 8 players available.
What his absence leaves is a lot of three-point shots.
Floor spins and has it taken away by Napier. Up ahead, Hachimura. Rui, nice little attack right there. And again, active hands. Here's Troy Brown Jr. to Bryant.
He is back. What a terrific pass, though, by Troy Brown. You see, when Brown has the...
And Thomas Bryant, they were great together doing that this year.
Amongst the league.
He is the modern-day version of Arvydas Sabonis. By the way, a nice 3 hit right there. Wizards up 10-8. Here's Grant underneath. Offensive rebound for Hachimura. Now in the paint. As
defensive stance, staying athletic, but nothing real quick. You know, since they've been down there.
Bol. Daniels is a 3-point shooter.
You know, can you stick it from the outside? Can you handle the ball?
Pump fake into a double team. Cutting Robinson. Wagner left open makeshift hoop. Did some shooting drills and able to drain that 3. Live basketball. How about for the players? Just back out.
Season for some of these guys, especially for the guys that had been hurt, like Mo Wagner.
Admiral Schofield also in. There he is, open for a corner.
Field lost some weight too. He looks terrific. Lean down.
Shooter. And they changed his shot a couple of different times. He said, I was at ball, and maybe it pays off.
You know, everybody's going to have to step up and make threes.
Here's Daniels, his pull-up.
Making you happy. I'm trying to make you happy here.
I'm happy we're calling basketball. Are you kidding? Again, Denver playing with 8 healthy bodies. That 3 was partially blocked.
290 anymore.
Smith, nice hesitation, kick out. Schofield.
Like Rui Hachimura, who's not from this country, but he is a black man that's living in this country, standing the moment in which he is living in. This is a change. What's interesting about Bradley Beal is...
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry about that, Jake. Be proud of, and again, I will continue to say this. Bradley Beal, the top on the times in which we need to change.
What that March
purposeful, and it made me feel proud to be involved with
goes to them. The fact that we are part of that, it's a special feeling. As
voter suppression in this country, players are talking about, obviously there's some arena.
Chris, we talked about the leadership of Bradley Beal and
in our community. Both of them have been, the Community Assist Award winner. A couple of young men that are going to HBCUs in the fall is not only giving a chapter in their life, but this is nothing new for John with his backpack giveaways and all this.
Quite feasible they could do it.
First 2 games of the season, huge.
In the league that has been impacted by COVID-19 more than the Brooklyn Nets.
Again, it's an opportunity to see what they can do. I think in Bonga, those guys have to step up. And if
about him, I thought he was a great pickup at the trade deadline by Tommy Shepard. I think it's going to
of what's called a feel. He's got a nice feel for the game. Knows when to
resumes with the reseeding games for July 31st. Is that right?
I got to ask you, during this time, unprecedented time.
What I've been thinking about, Glenn.
It's great stuff. When you have a Bradley Beal on the floor where everything is about this whole team, so this is an opportunity for these young players to develop their skills.